You know, Joe, when I was watching the beginning of that speech, I felt like I was living in a parallel universe, like I was in some other country. He was talking about some other country because everything he was saying made so little sense. It reminded me, Meacham can fact-check me on this, but it reminded me of the famous line attributed to Mary McCarthy about Lillian Hellman. Every word she writes is a lie, including the ands and the buts. It sort of felt like that for the first 10 or 15 minutes of that speech last night. But let me, I'll show you some charts, and then we can go through some other things he said in his speech that were also quite incredible. But let's start with job growth. And he bragged a lot about the job growth. But as you can see here, what we're trying to show here is that job growth under President Trump, which has been significant, was actually lower than job growth under President Obama over the same 35 months, the end of Obama's term versus the beginning of Trump's term. So the idea that there's something unprecedented happening here is ridiculous.
Wait. Hold on a second. I'm confused. So you're telling me that the gray that we're looking at right now is job growth under Barack Obama, his last 3 years in office, and the red is job growth under Donald Trump, his last 3 years in office. And actually, Donald Trump is doing worse than Barack Obama. Let's forget about why Donald Trump lies. We know he lies. Why doesn't the media report this more? Why do they let Donald Trump keep going? This is the media that is actually cooking the books for Donald Trump by looking at the Dow and looking at unemployment, which, by the way, was going down in this direction under Barack Obama. Why do they keep spreading this lie? Why does the media spread this lie that Donald Trump has somehow created the greatest economy when he's doing worse than Barack Obama in job creation?
Well, you have to ask the media that, but what I can tell you is that under Obama, there were 227,000 jobs a month created during this 35-month period, and under Trump was 191,000. So 227 went to 191. Trump brags about lowering the unemployment rate by 1.2%. Obama lowered the unemployment rate by 2 full percentage points. So any way you slice it, this is at best a continuation of the Obama recovery, and at worst a slower version of the Obama recovery. So we can turn
Give
now.
us next chart.
We can turn now, if you want, to wages, because he bragged a lot about wages last night, and indeed wages have been going up, as you can see by the blue line up at the top here. But when you adjust for inflation, which is a really important thing to do, because obviously what matters is what workers have in their pockets at the end of the day, which are these bottom lines here, you can see that, in fact, once again, real wages after adjustment for inflation rose slower under Trump than under Obama. Under Obama, they rose at an average of 1.1%, and under Trump, they rose at an average of 0.6%. So you had faster growth in wages after adjusting for inflation under Obama than you had under Trump.
Okay, and so that's a lie as well. Wages adjusted for inflation are actually worse under Donald Trump than they were under Barack Obama. Again, not a surprise, just a surprise that the media keeps letting Donald Trump get away with this lie, as they have for the past several years. It's just lazy. They listen to what Donald Trump says, think, oh, yeah, wages are going. No. And, you know, look at GDP, if you will, because that's, I mean, you look at our economic growth. That tells us not just how the richest of the rich are doing on Wall Street. That tells us how everybody is doing. And so give us a story on GDP.
So last night, Trump, in his first or second paragraph, said he wanted to talk about the incredible results in the economy that he's achieved. The incredible results amount to GDP going up by 2.5% during his watch. Again, we're comparing the same 35 months. End of Obama versus end of Trump. Obama, it was 2.4%. So call it statistically a tie, but essentially this is simply a continuation, as you said earlier, Joe, of an 11-year recovery, and the growth rate under Trump is no higher than under Obama. Job creation has actually been weaker than under Obama, and so wages have actually been weaker under Obama as well. So when you check the big boxes, that's what you get. But there's so much. There was so much else in that speech that were just, lies on top of lies. He claimed, for example, that that he made us independent in oil and gas production. Both of those things happened before he took office.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.